commanders and captains in the Burkina Faso armed forces have been arrested, and a few of them were relieved of their duties with immediate effect in regards to this planned military coup that failed a few days ago. According to the magistrate commander,
I would like to comment on that particular video that you just watched. That video is a video I borrowed from the Big Shy. From the Big Shy. So I borrowed that video from him. As we can see on that video was made on the 1st of this September, that's yesterday. So Ibrahim Traoré, a coup that was something that was supposed to be a coup to take out Ibrahim Traoré was uncovered. Yes, it was uncovered. And who were those people behind? The people behind this coup were nobody else rather than the previous regime, members of the previous regime, in collaboration with some of Ibrahim Traoré's men, office men, military men. But the good thing there is, this coup was uncovered. I will allow you to watch that video. I will allow you to watch all the video. But one thing that I want to comment there now is so far as the French or the Westerners, they have not taken out Ibrahim Traoré, they will never sleep and rest. They will never get enough sleep. They will never relax. They will never let Africa or Burkina Faso alone. Well, as I just said, if so far as Africa remains, or Ibrahim Traoré and his ideology continue to excel, and every Africans are behind him with respect, in order to come out with we can see this Pan-Africanism in Ibrahim Traoré. African unity, that is what he's looking for. But insofar as this guy continue to stay, we love him. These are the type of leadership we want. These are the type of leaders we want, because we see things that he's doing for his people. But before I go further into or deeper into this, I would want you to take your time and watch this video to the end from Big Shy. Watch the video and I'll be back. Please just take your time and watch the video. Watch the video now.
And captains in the Burkina Faso armed forces have been arrested, and a few of them were relieved of their duties with immediate effect in regards to this planned military coup that failed a few days ago. According to the magistrate commander, the former commander of the military justice battalion was also arrested. So you can see this coup attempt was planned at the highest level. It involved top military commanders, top military captains, and also top governmental officials. It was a big deal. It was something deeper than you and me could ever imagine. Now, according to the report I heard, they suspected the guy that planned the coup, the master planner, was one of the exiled military commanders previously. He came back from Ivory Coast promising, I think, about 10 commanders and captains 5 million U.
So guys, you have watched that particular video, so let me just try to analyze what the Big Shy was talking there. Well, this particular coup that was uncovered involves even commanders from the Ibrahim Traoré's regime. Thank God this coup was uncovered, because there's no way that you can see people, or you see these Westerners, they come, they do something without involving our own people. It did not only involve those from the Ibrahim Traoré regime, but those from the previous regime under Blaise Compaoré or Damiba, and so on and so forth. These are people who don't even like the country. They don't even like something good for the people because they prefer to please their colonial masters. They know that with the help of their colonial masters, they can stay in power for years upon years. They can steal and loot the entire country for years upon years, decade upon decades, without care or without anything. They are just doing, all they are doing is just a politics of interest and stomach politics. They don't care about the people. Ibrahim Traoré has come now. He's doing something good for the people, for his people, and for Africa. Yet, some of us, some of his people, when I say us, I mean the problem with Africa is Africans. All these people that they eliminated before in the past, the Westerners did not come, and they were not the ones who eliminated Gaddafi. Patrice Lumumba were not killed by foreigners. He was killed by his own people with the help of foreigners, with the help of the Westerners, CIA and Belgium. Thomas Sankara was killed by his people, Blaise Compaoré, with the help of France. The same thing goes to Ghana, Kwame Nkrumah, Olympio of Togo. The same thing, similar things happen. That's how it is. They did not come themselves to take off these people. They use our own people to take off these people, to take away with these people, to do away with these people. That is the thing. They will never come themselves. They will never come themselves. So the problem with us is us. Well, still going back to Ibrahim Traoré. You know, I came across a certain blog about a certain blogger. They call him on TikTok. His page is Dylan's page. So he was saying that the West or everyone should be careful with Ibrahim Traoré, because what he is trying to do for Africa, he is trying to bring in about Africa anti-West revolution. That's to say, he is trying to bring Africa unity. Africa unity, a united Africa. That is Ibrahim Traoré. So if you see, he's a young white guy, but if you see how he was lamenting in his video, it shows that this thing that Ibrahim Traoré is doing, for his people and for the good of Africa, in fact, most of the Europeans are not happy. Most of the Westerners are not happy. I'm not talking about Dylan not happy or Dylan being happy. I'm not talking about that. The mind or the mindset of Dylan is what I don't know. I'm not contemplating about. I'm not talking about his mindset. But the thing is, I did admire his video when he was emphasizing that people need to watch out with Ibrahim Traoré. So whether he was saying this for the interest of Africans, then it's fine. I want you, after this, to really watch his video. This video from Dylan, I borrowed it from Dylan's page. I would just want you to listen to what Dylan has to offer. He's a young white blogger. I mean, he really emphasizes on this. That is why I decided that, well, it's a good video that I will intend and prefer to share it with you, my people, so that we can as well learn something out of Dylan. Because Dylan, I think he's a good guy, he's a nice guy. I'm following his page on TikTok. Well, I like him. So guys, you watch the video and I'll be back with little thing.
The world needs to pay attention to who this man is, because he is inspiring an African revolution against the West right now. This is 37-year-old Ibrahim Traoré. He is the second youngest head of state in the world right now, and what his supporters say he represents is simple: African independence. You see, Burkina Faso is a former French colony, and since he became leader of the country in 2022, he has accused France of neocolonialism, which in other words is when a country is still trying to control the other, but now just through more hush means. So when he seized power, he started to make drastic changes. He ordered the French troops to leave the country. He expelled French diplomats and Western media. He banned the use of British and French colonial-style judicial wigs in efforts to decolonize the country's judicial system. And then he started making major changes. He started cutting ties with foreign companies involved in Burkina Faso's infrastructure development, like roads, bus stations, airports, and then started replacing them with locally equipped and trained workers, and then acquired around 1,000 road-building machines for them to use. He started introducing policies to boost local control over food production and processing. He started pushing for greater state control over energy, reducing the dependence on foreign suppliers of electricity. And then, in the clearest statement to the West yet, he has started buying back a number of the country's major gold mines previously owned by foreign entities. He called the purchases a reclaiming of national wealth from exploitative foreign ownership. But here's where things get crazy, because what started in Burkina Faso has now become something much bigger. They've now joined forces with Mali and Niger to form the alliance of Sahel states, basically saying, we've got each other's backs and we're done with all influence from the West. Ivory Coast and Senegal are now also pushing to remove foreign military bases, and a former Nigerian senator described Traoré's actions as the spirit of a continent yearning to be free, dignified, and prosperous. And that is exactly why we're seeing it slowly transition from one country in Africa to Africa as a whole. Because the question that's increasingly being asked is, why is such a resource-rich continent that literally powers the world so poor themselves? Now, here's the problem. We've seen revolutions like this in Africa before, and they haven't ended well. Back in the 1980s, Thomas Sankara led Burkina Faso with almost the exact same vision Traoré has now, rejecting foreign aid, nationalizing roads and railways, and calling for true African independence. But just 4 years later, he was assassinated. His policies were reversed, and French firms regained contracts for roads, railways, and ports in Western Africa. So is Traoré walking that same path? We don't know. But there are reports that he has survived 19 assassination attempts in 2 years. However, not all those claims have been verified. And it's also important to note that Traoré has his critics. Some call him a dictator because he rose to power in a coup. He's postponed elections, he's banned the media, and he's cracked down on dissent and critics, saying no country has ever developed under democracy. So the question is, what do you think? Is this just another dictator grappling for power, or the man to ignite a long-needed change for Africa?
So guys, you have heard everything from Dylan, how he analyzes the situation in Burkina Faso and what happened also in the past. He even asked this question. I was even surprised when he asked this question of, why is it that in a continent that powers the world with all its mineral resources, that powers the Western countries with all its mineral resources, remain so poor? Why? This is the question, the critical question that I took out of from that Dylan's video. Every other analysis that Dylan just made in that particular video is not new to us, because it's what we have been doing, we have been hearing in the past. We know about when Thomas Sankara came to power. I mean, when Thomas Sankara came to when he took office, and then what happened to him, because he was trying to do things good for his own people. We know exactly what happened to all the other ones like Patrice Lumumba, Olympio, Kwame Nkrumah. We know about Felix Momier in Cameroon and all those things. Gaddafi also was the latest. The thing is, the imperialists, I mean the Western countries, they have their ideology. It's their interest first. It's their interest first. And the thing is the fact that they have all these nuclear weapons, all these sophisticated weapons, that if they want to do something, they will just come there and try to assassinate you. Of course, we all know who are all those who are behind the assassination or the coup behind Ibrahim Traoré. We all know, we are not hiding it. We know that it's the West and France. They will do everything. They will not come themselves. They will use also people who are loyal to them to come do the finishing work for them. This guy, if I'm not mistaken, Ibrahim Traoré, has now survived over 20 assassination attempts. But if you want to go and look at it critically, who is behind all these coups? You can exempt every other persons, but these two can never be exempted. France and the United States. They can never be exempted. And that is the thing, because everything that is not in the interest of France, is not in the interest of the West, is not in the interest of America, well, these people will do everything to take it down. The West, they have this form of conspiracy theory that they call. If you are not with them, they take you out. If you don't follow their rules, they take you out. Why do you think they created the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund? Why do you think they created all these institutions? If you don't accept aid from the West, if you don't accept loan from International Monetary Fund or from the World Bank, then why? That is the same and similar problem what the Westerners do have with countries like the North Korea. It's because of what? North Korea don't accept aid from them. They don't accept loan from the International Monetary Fund, International World Bank. They don't accept anything. They are not even into agreement. I don't think they are even into agreement with the International Court of Justice. I don't think so. But that's just the fact that we all need to know. We just need to know that no matter what Ibrahim Traoré is doing, which we all know that he is doing something good for his people and for the entire continent, well, the Westerners, the imperialists, America and its ally, and its NATO allies will come after him, and they will not let anything down. They will not let anything unturned rather than to take him out, because they look at him to be an obstacle to them. He doesn't accept their aid. He has paid all the loans that Burkina Faso was owing, a country whereby 3 years ago it was one of the poorest nations in the world, but it has settled all its debts. Thank God, Russia, or the president of Russia, China, Turkey, United Arab Emirates, they are behind him. We pray for long life, we pray for long life for Ibrahim Traoré, and give thanks to God. We pray that God continue guiding him and protecting him and his family, and why not the country Burkina Faso and the entire African continent. Well guys, if you do like this and all those things, please feel free to hit that like button, share the video so that it gets to everyone, and don't forget to drop us your comment what you think about this particular one. And guys, please don't forget where I borrowed this video from, the Big Shy and also from Dylan's page. Please go to TikTok and follow them as well. You see the Dylan's page and the Big Shy 411. Follow all these guys. They are also there on YouTube. When you type, you see them also on YouTube. So guys, feel free, and if it's your first time coming across my YouTube channel, the Game Changer 17-TV, please feel free to follow or to subscribe, and don't forget that notification bell as well. See you in my next video, and you take care. I remain your one and only one, the Game Changer, the epitome of the mindset. Thank you, and remain blessed. Take care. Bye-bye.